Hello there. Today we're going to have a look at Omas Pens. They're made in Bologna. The company was originally based in the centre of the town, but in recent years has moved to the outskirts with a nice modern factory there, which I was lucky enough to visit back in April. The company was founded in 1925 by Armando Simoni, and he in turn was very much influenced by Greek design influences, and if you look at when you see the pens, you'll see that there is still something of a Greek influence in the friezes around the pens, in the designs used on the pens, and in fact in some of the designs of the pens. But obviously, being in 1925, I think you'll see from the box, Art Deco was quite big in that time, and that still reflects to some extent in the overall design ethos of Omas. So let's have a look at some of the pens in detail. At present, Omas have got three main ranges in operation. Most of them, they offer the full range of writing systems, fountain pen, rollable, ballpoint and pencil, although not all are available in all sizes. So for instance, the Paragon, which is very much the top of the range, which is going in this version to cost you about £500–600. Very weighty pen, only available as a fountain pen. And what's distinctive about this is the 12 sides to the barrel and the silver front piece and the very nicely engraved nib. And I'm just going to hold that up and hope we stay in focus. So that's good. As you'll see, the quality of the workmanship is absolutely superb. One of the things that Omas pride themselves on is that they finish their own nibs, so the engraving on the nib is done in the Omas factory. They receive the blanks for the nibs. They actually make their own feeders. I've seen the little rods of ebonite that they use actually, and they fashion them into wonderful shapes like this. So brilliant. Now this is another Milord. This is the regular size one, but this is one of my favourite pens anywhere actually. This is the Arco Celluloid, and I hope that you can see as I turn the pen the way that the light catches it and the way that the pen actually comes alive in your hands. Now this again is a fairly expensive pen. You'll have to have a look at the website to check out how much it is, but I'm sure you'll agree it is absolutely beautiful. The engineering on these is absolutely superb. They are beautifully made pens and hopefully will last a lifetime. Now they also use resin, and this is a natural cotton resin, and this is a further version of the Milord. Recommended retail for this is around £400. A feature that you will have noticed possibly is this little wheel here, and you're doubtless asking yourselves, does it go round? The answer of course is yes, it does, and this protects your pockets as you put the pen into them. So that's the Arte Italia range, absolutely zipped through. They also do the 360, much more radical design, much more contemporary design. It's a three-sided pen that people always say, gosh, I bet that's not terribly comfortable. But as soon as they pick it up and try it, actually it sits in the hand absolutely beautifully. This is quite a light pen, but Omas have done an awful lot of limited editions in this. Some of them are actually quite solid pens. There's certainly one made of titanium. But as with all of Omas, the finish is absolutely beautiful. Again, you'll notice the Greek motif around the cap band. The original founder of Omas was very keen on Greek culture, and a lot of the pens do feature this sort of motif. Again in the 360 range is what's called a mezzo, and this one now is made only as a rollable or ballpoint. You can get a refill which will do either. Again featuring the 360 size and the triangular grip, and really very nice, very well made pen. nice useful springy clip. So that's the Arte Italiana range, the 360 range. The other main range, and it's the least expensive one, is the Bologna, and for about £300 you can get this fountain pen. And it comes in various different colours. There's a version of this that is in red, and there's some very exciting resins that are overall purpley or green, and there's also a very nice one in a dark blue, actually much the same colour as the cap. I've got to say, when we first looked at these in the catalogue, we did really wonder whether a pen with a different colour cap to the body was a good idea, and well, I hope you're getting the idea from this video that actually it is a fantastic idea. It is an extremely good looking pen. As I say, if you want to see the full range, take a look in the website. For ballpoint, you have this lovely action actually. I don't know whether you're going to be able to pick up the details of the engraving here. Bologna is famous for having something like 43 kilometres of colonnades in the town. You really need never get terribly wet when you're walking around Bologna, because there's almost invariably somewhere under cover. Although I suppose, it being Italy, the main advantage is not keeping the water off you, but keeping the sun off you. Well worth a visit to Bologna if you ever get the chance. It's a lovely town. Now, there are a couple of pens I'm going to show you as well. This is actually called the Milady. It's a ballpoint. I find it, as a rule, quite difficult to get terribly excited about ballpoints, and this certainly isn't something I'd use myself. For a ballpoint, it is actually quite heavy and quite chunky, and as you'll see, it does have a jewel in the top. It's pretty expensive, but it's beautifully presented, and I think sooner or later I'll wind up doing a specific video on this, because it is quite remarkable, and as I say, the packaging is superb. It's very much a luxury item. The only other one I want to mention is a special edition that they brought out recently. Again, I'm not sure how much you can see of this, and we have done a specific video on them, but this is an ogiva, and it's this nice rounded shape. What's important about this one is that it has the Omas extra flexible nib. Now, it's not a fully flexible nib as you would see on an old style Waterman or something like that, but I hope you'll be able to see, as I just press this gently onto my thumb, that the nib flexes really quite a great deal. And we sold several of these, and the customers absolutely love them. Using a flexible nib is a real joy, and they're pretty hard to get hold of these days. So that's just a very quick overview of the Omas range. I'm sure we'll be coming up with further reviews of the individual pens, but as the range is fairly new to us and not widely known in the country, I thought this would be a useful video to make.